Ah, the Minecraft Skybase, an absolute staple in any PvP environment. Please take a moment to survey the splendor of the architecture and the subtle beauty of the simplistic yet effective design. A beacon of hope, it lends a sense of security and safety while adding to the aesthetics of the landscape, which can be seen for miles around, provided that one's render distance is turned appropriately high. There it is. Truly, the tower is a Minecraftian's best friend. Except, of course, for the part where it is not. What does one do, for example, when an enemy is inside of the tower, one which you desperately want to eliminate, but yet are unable to, due to the fact that you are on the ground and that you do not have wings? Do you cry? Do you hang your head low? Do you give up on life? Well, worry no more, because after you watch this tutorial, I am confident that you, yes, even you, will have the ability and the know-how to take down almost any tower. Let's do this! Hey everyone, it's Pink Eye the Glitch here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to take down a tower inside of survival Minecraft. I'm in creative right now, but that's okay. So I'm here with my alternate account, David Da Vinci, and he's going to represent the tower person, and I'm going to represent the person on the ground. And I'm going to show you some tips and strategies on how you can take out a tower. And if you're a person who likes to tower, I'm going to give you a couple strategies and tips and stuff like that on how you can make a better tower for yourself and increase your odds of winning. So we have here a 16 by 16 place. This is what the borders would be for a normal UHC in the Mineplex. This is where the borders stop decreasing in size. And so yeah, this is the space that we're going to limit ourselves in. But these techniques don't necessarily have to be applied to ultra hardcore. They can also be applied to things like the bridges, for example, or hardcore games, or any other survival based PvP type game which you might be playing. So first of all, we're going to start off with the best case scenario. So here the person towers up 5 blocks in the air and then runs out of blocks. So what you can do is just go ahead and just hit them off like that, and then they'll fall down, and then you can end their lives. What might be a little bit more realistic is you have a person who just towers up like this, just straight up in the air, just they're out of reach of your sword. Normally players don't tower up and just stand on the top of a 1x1 tower like this. The situations that you would see this most often is if they're in the process of building the tower, like they're running away from you or something, they're still building up like that. And so what you can do is, if you have a bow and arrow, you can just snipe them off the top while they're building up, just like this. Hold on, just a little lower. There we go. And then they fall to their doom, and then yeah, you win the game. So if you don't have a bow and arrow in your inventory, you can also use snowballs. For some reason, I think there's some sort of bug or some kind of glitch, but this guy's in survival mode. I'm looking at it right now, but yeah, the snowballs don't they just pass right through him or get absorbed apparently. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm pretty sure that's a glitch, but in normal games like UHC and stuff, you'll be able to hit them off with snowballs, and yeah, snowballs can be a good weapon. Same thing with eggs, you can hit them off the top with that, but be careful though, you might spawn chickens accidentally. That's not good. And if they're low enough down, you may be able to hit them off with a fishing rod, because fishing rods do knock back as well. Unfortunately, that's not working either. I'm pretty sure this would work in normal games like UHC and hardcore games, but unfortunately it's not working here, so I can't demonstrate it for you now. So let's just go ahead and snipe them off the top with a bow and arrow. There we go. Yeah. So now the tower has been rebuilt, and up at the top is the person. So one thing that you can do, which many people will do when trying to reach a tower, is just tower up like this. So, but this really isn't a good strategy in order to take out a tower. The reason being is that the person at the top, as you can see, can build out a little pillar like that out to the side, and they can hit you with snowballs, which I'm going to demonstrate right now just for fun. So as you can see, you're getting pelted with snowballs, and normally, if it wasn't for the glitch, I would have fallen down, and if I towered up all the way up there, I would have fallen to my death. So towering up like this, not recommended. Another thing which people will sometimes do is they'll tower up right underneath the tower. Now this is a little bit better because, as you can see, you can get more blocks for free. You can just destroy the blocks up there, and then you can pick them up and then put them back down again. And it provides you a little bit of shelter from above. But as you can see, the person up there can still, if they have really good aim, they can still maybe hit you with snowballs. So yeah, it's kind of hard for me to aim at myself, but considering the way that I'm sitting and stuff like that. But yeah, so if they have projectiles, they can knock you off, and then you'll either have to start it over again or else you'll be dead. So towering up like this, not recommended either. So what you can do to take down a tower like this is if the person is at the top, they have projectiles, or you don't know if they have projectiles, you never want to get caught unaware. You can just approach the side like this, and then just tower up as normal. Just don't tower too high, like this, just maybe 4 or 5 blocks. Just make sure that if you fall from the tower, like if they decide to snipe you off with snowballs or bows and arrows or other projectiles like that, you'll be able to survive, or at least or not take a considerable amount of fall damage. So what you can do is you can just tower up like this. I'm going to tower maybe up to here, looks about good, and then you can build out some platforms to the side like this, and then you can go ahead and build up like this. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it so that if they have projectiles, which I'll demonstrate right now, even if you're like this, it's still gonna be hard for them to knock you off. Let me just demonstrate like this. See, what's happening is that I'm getting knocked into the blocks behind me, so I'm not falling off the tower, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna die soon though, but yeah. Ideally, you would want to build your tower, which is approaching their tower, far enough away so that they can't easily hit you when you're up at the top, so that they can't look down on you the way that they were doing. Let me just show you. So that they can't just fire arrows down in there. But it's sort of unlikely that the person in the tower will have a big supply of arrows, and even a bow and arrow to begin with if they just tower it up. It's unlikely that they'll have found spiders or flints or stuff like that. So you're not usually going to run into a person with a bow and arrow in the game modes like UHC. One more tip that I have for you guys is when you're towering up to get into another person's tower, definitely you want to bring your own projectiles if you have some. So if you have a bow and arrow, definitely get that into your hotbar. If you see a mountain nearby and you can get some snowballs, definitely bring those too. If you have a whole bunch of chickens nearby and you can get some eggs, bring those. If you have fishing rod of doom, definitely bring that, and you'll win the game, like almost guaranteed. Because what's going to happen is that if you tower like right next to their tower. So let me just show you right here. Like if you tower like this, for example, and they're at the top of the tower, you can they might try to branch out like this in order to get a better angle at you. Like if they have a bow and arrow or something, they might branch out like this, and they'll aim down at you where you are. And what you can do is, if you see them doing that and they're exposing themselves, you can aim a projectile back there and either hit them off or just scare them back onto their base, that you can continue towering up normally. So yes, definitely bring your own projectiles if you can. Also, one little tip that I did want to share with you guys: if you have, if there are trees around, you need some building blocks. Say that the tower is like 1 billion blocks in the air. What you can do is you can make yourself some shears. It's really easy. It's just 2 iron bars or iron ingots in the crafting thing. You don't even need a crafting table, and you can just go up to some trees and look at that. It just cuts through them like butter, and you can just get these oak leaves. It's really easy, and you can just take that down and there you go. You've got some really fast building blocks right there. You can go ahead and just shear as many trees as you need, and then you can go ahead and tower up with this. You can even use this technique if you're trying to tower yourself. However, you gotta be careful, because oak leaves, they can break pretty easily, and they also are flammable. So they're really flammable actually. So you don't want to make your entire tower out of oak leaves unless you're just trying to be silly or something like that. So yeah, there you go. That's a bit of an easy way to get building blocks to get up to a tower. So now that I've shown you the smart way to tower up, I'm going to show you a little counter to this, which you can use if you're towering up yourself. You can, as you can see, my person up there, David Da Vinci, he has some sand in his hands, and so what he's going to do is, if you're not paying attention, you can just drop the sand down like that, and it's going to suffocate you. And yeah, you're being suffocated and stuff like that, and the sand is just going to come down and it's going to keep suffocating you until you die. So yeah, GG. So we're trying to reach the guy in the tower, and he has sand. So what can we do to counter this? So what you can do is you can place down a torch like this every so often. Just let me get some dirt out for myself so I can continue to tower up. And let me set myself to survival mode while I'm at it. So yes, what you can do is just remember that sand and gravel and blocks that are affected by gravity, besides TNT, will break if they hit a torch. So what you can do is we've actually seen this work in one of my ultra hardcore spectating games where the person in the tower had sand, but the person on the ground was really smart and put down torches around him so that the sand would get broken when the guy in the tower dropped it down. So let's see what happens when the sand gets dropped down on top of us when we are standing right here with the torch at our feet. Okay, so the sand's coming down, and look at that. It just instantly breaks the moment that it hits the torch. So what you can do is you can just tower up like normal, like this, and then every so often just place down a torch and try to, you can build up your walls right like that while you're waiting, and build up like this, place down a torch, and then just try to minimize the time that you do not have a torch at your feet, so that it makes it harder for them to drop down sand on you and suffocate you and ruin your game. So, okay, new scenario. You're building up the tower, you're building up your walls, you're setting down your torches, but he has something else in the tower which is going to drop down now. Okay, so as you can see, there's lava. So, when you're building up, you definitely want to look up and make sure that there's no lava being dropped down, and if there is, you gotta act, you have a little bit of time to think. So, what you can do is you can just build out like this. Try to build yourself a ceiling so that the lava won't get you, and so that you can protect yourself a little bit from projectiles. Keep on building out like this. Ceiling first so that you don't get hit with projectiles. And yeah, as you can see, the lava's coming down right there. So then you can block yourself in again. Yeah, as you can see, the lava's not approaching you. You can destroy that block up there and continue to build normally like this. So say he builds out above you again, and then he drops down some more lava. So yeah, more lava's coming down. You can build yourself a ceiling like that and build out this way. Make sure to keep building the ceiling so that you don't get hit by projectiles and that the lava doesn't spill on top of you. And then yeah, just make sure to build the ceiling first, and then go out like that. So I'm going to build out one more. I'll build the roof first, build the sides. You build right there, and then you can continue towering up as normal. And if he continues to build above you and place down more lava, you can continue to just build to the side, and yeah, that's how you can continue to avoid lava when the guy's in the tower. And chances are, most likely, he's not going to have very many buckets of lava up there, because yeah, they normally, people who do towers, especially in UHC, don't usually spend much time mining. In the unlikely event that they have lava up in the tower, now you know how to deal with that. So yeah, there you go. So this tower system over here has gotten pretty messed up, so I built another one over here. Ideally, what you'll be able to do is when you tower up, let's just say we towered up to here or something like that. If you're building at an angle from the tower, you can get away with just doing 2 blocks like that, and then building up so that they can still not hit you off the edge if they have projectiles. And ideally, what you'll want to do is you'll want to build up a tower a bit far away from where the actual enemy tower is. And if you can get over to the enemy tower, that's a really good thing as well. If you can get above them and then drop down, that's really cool. That's really good as well. Just make sure that you build up high enough so that you they can't dig out the blocks that you're standing on, because that would be pretty bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and show you how to build a bridge out. So it's basically just like I showed you over there. You just basically build a wall up like this, and if you have slabs, let me show you this. So you see you have 64 wooden planks, and that'll only take you so far. So what you can do is you can make a crafting table, get that out, and then there you go. You've got almost 2 stacks. So when you're doing this, you don't have to build up a whole wall like this. You can just build out like that, so that if they hit you with projectiles, you won't get knocked back. If you want, you can also make a wall for yourself like this, just so that projectiles can't hit you. But if you're building out with slabs, they can still hit your feet, so just be wary of that. And then turning the corner, you can go around like that, and yeah, so just keep on doing this, and then you can get on top of the tower or something like that. Normally you wouldn't build up this high, but let's keep on going. One of the most important tools which you can have is a water bucket when you're towering, or when you're taking down a tower. So let's get one out right now. Once you get above the tower, you can put down some water. You can go down like this, and then you can take no fall damage, and then you can get this guy, whack him all you want, and then he's dead. So that's one way to take down a tower. If you can get above them and then drop down water and attack them, if you have like significantly more armor and more health than they do, and you're not like at half a heart, this is a pretty good thing. If you can get above them and then you can drop down, that's a really good way to do that as well. So also, obviously, if you have projectiles, it's a good idea to go ahead and just shoot from here rather than going in for a melee kill, because you can, you know, keep your distance and stuff. So if you're in a tower, a good thing is to protect yourself from projectiles as well. So you can build up either a wall like this. You can normally what I do is I just build out a wall like something like this, where it goes out like that. Gives me a little bit more area, and it just also helps protect me from projectiles. So if someone hits me with something, I don't go flying out of the tower if I'm standing right on the edge. And yeah, so building walls like that around your tower is definitely a good idea. Now it's starting to rain. So now if you're in a tower and you've got someone above you and they're coming over to destroy you, one thing that you might want to do to prepare before this happens, not right as it's happening, obviously, you might want to build a roof out for yourself like this. And you can build a roof that'll slow them down a little bit, so they won't be able to jump right on you. But once a person gets inside of your tower, especially if they have better weapons and better armor than you, then there's really not much that you can do after that. Your best bet when towering is to use projectiles and try to keep them from towering up next to your base. So use projectiles, use lava, use sand, use everything that you can in order to try to get them to not come up to your tower. So yeah. Also, another thing which you really should consider doing, if you have the option, is to use water to your advantage. Now remember, water negates all your fall damage when you fall down into it. So what you can do is, if you're below the tower, you can create an infinite water source and just flood the entire area with water before you tower up. So let me show you how to do this. With 2 water buckets, you can make an infinite source. So let me go to game mode survival. Okay, and check this out. I've only got 2 water buckets right here, and now I'm going to place one right here, one water source right there, and then right next to that, diagonally, I'm going to put another water source right there, and that's going to create an unlimited source for me, so that I can refill my buckets, and I can put this all over the place. Yeah, just place that all over the place, and you can just basically, you see how the water's becoming smooth right here? So yeah, that's basically the idea. You can just flood the entire area, and yeah, a little bit of water can go a long way. So just flood this area, flood that area, and then you're pretty good. So say they knock you off with a snowball or something like that, you fall down, not all is lost. All you have to do is tower up again. So say that the tower is really far up and you don't have very many blocks at your disposal. One thing that you can do is go up to the side of the tower and you can put down water like this. And you can swim up like this. Make sure that you swim to the side so that you can get some more air and stuff like that. So you can just swim up like this, and then you can take it, place it, and then take it, place it, and then there you go. You're climbing up the tower without even using any blocks. And then once you go up to the top, oh, yes, there you go. Okay, getting up to the top now. And oh, that is a weird glitch, but yeah, there we go. Okay, so once you get up to the top, you can go ahead and place down a block for yourself to stand on, and go ahead and take that away, and try to case yourself in. And then what you can do is you can start to destroy the tower around them. There they are. Go ahead and whack them with the sword. Do whatever you want. So if you've made it this far up the tower and they're not really doing anything, what you can do is place down, make sure that you have some blocks ready in your inventory. In case they put down lava or something like that, you can just instantly place down a block and just protect yourself from it, or take away their entire source, which is even better. So if you have something like a diamond shovel, which you probably won't, but if you have a shovel, you can just go ahead and try to spleef them away, spleef away the tower, and then hopefully now you can whack them and they'll fall down, and then they fall into the water. Just be like, wee. Okay, and then so they fall into the water, and then they're down on the ground, which you can go ahead and follow them down, and then you can go ahead and whack them until they die. So yeah, that's how you can take down a tower with water. Okay, so now this next thing that I'm going to show you is called MLG Water, and to do this, this is a skill which takes a little bit of practice to get down, but it can be an invaluable skill. See, this is a fall that would normally, I would take a considerable amount of damage if I were to fall from this height. But if you place down water right before you hit the ground, It's important to look straight down and make sure that you're landing in the center. So yeah, what you can do is you can build your own world, and you can build a tower for you to practice on. And so what I can do is I can just practice this over and over again. So let's see if I can get it right this time. Yes, there we go. All right, so you see how that works. So I'm gonna do /kill. There we go. And you can just keep on doing this over and over again. So you can just jump down and press it right before you you hit the ground. It takes some timing. So let's try this again. And one thing you can do if you're feeling particularly snazzy, and you can just throw the water bucket up in the air and then catch it on the way down. There you go, MLG Pro. So yeah, that's how to MLG Water. Just land in the middle of a block and then place down the water right as you're going to hit the ground. It takes some timing, but just practice in your world, and I think you'll eventually get it if you practice. Now, of course, MLG Water is used only in emergency situations, like you're in the air and you're falling down, you're gonna die. You have just always keep your water bucket handy, and just in case. So if you so pretend you've slain the tower person, and you have to get down now. This might be obvious. A lot of you probably already know this, but you can put down some water right there, and then you can wait for it to flow down a little bit, take it back up, and then you can just ride it down to safety. And then when it hits the ground, you can just go ahead and drop. And then there you go. That's how you can exit a tower or a high cliff or a mountain or something like that when you would take fall damage. That's how you can save yourself. So here's a little thing that I found on the internet. I actually saw this in one of Sunday's videos, and I didn't discover this one. But yeah, so as you can see down here, we have a little escape route from the tower. Now, I wouldn't recommend leaving your tower at all if you're because the tower is what's giving you the biggest advantage if you're up in the tower. So if worst comes to worst and the guy branches over and you gets into your tower, you can have a little escape route right here, and then you can get away and then possibly build another tower or something like that. So what you can do is you can have a hole like this, and then you drop down, keep on holding W, and you'll fall into this little hole right here. So in order to build this, you just dig down 3, and you dig 3 in front of you, and then you dig a spot out right there. You can put your water in there, and the water's going to flow out like that, and then you can build up like that, and you can make a little way for you to jump up like that. And then there you go. You can do that at the base of your tower, and then just tower up. And then if they get into your tower, you can just leave a little hole right here so that you can get out. The person in the tower, you know, it's very hard for you to see the water down there. So if they know this trick, they're probably going to follow you down and try to do the same thing to you. And so what you can do is you can go down here, you know, right when you fall down, place that right there, get rid of that water source, and just run away. And so what will happen is that when they try to follow you down, they're just gonna fall down to their death like that. So that's what's gonna happen there. You can try to do that. It's not guaranteed that that'll work, but that's one thing that you can do. So now another strategy that you can do is if you're in a tower and someone gets up to you and you want to abandon your tower, you can have this like a little gap right there, this unlimited water source down there, and you can just go down, you can jump off into that, and then yeah, just pretend I landed in that. So you're gonna want to land in that, and you're gonna want to watch up there. And so what'll happen is that the people in the tower who have come up to get you will most likely they're probably gonna be pumped full of adrenaline. They're probably not gonna be thinking clearly. They're probably gonna have tunnel vision. So they're probably gonna try to jump down and then follow after you. So what you can do is when you see them fall down, you can look down immediately and try to, block off that water source, and then what will happen is that they will eventually fall down, and then yeah, you've won the game. So if you're really quick-witted, you can just put a water source down by your tower, fill it up right before they jump in it, right when they're jumping down. Make sure that you time that right, and yeah, you can maybe get a cheap win that way. So now I'm going to show you another way which you can take out a tower. We've got the tower up there again. This time we're going to make a person launcher. This is pretty cool. It can launch you pretty far up in the air, so I'm going to show you that it actually doesn't damage you at all. So I'm going to go into game mode survival. There we go. And I'm going to show you how to build it. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a sword, and well, you don't really need a sword, but it definitely helps out if you're in a PvP situation. But yeah, you're going to need AT&T. You're going to need a wooden pressure plate, which you can just take 2 pieces of wood and then put it right up there in your crafting thing to get that. And you don't need any grass, but you need 2 water buckets, and that's it. So you don't need a shovel either, but a shovel definitely helps. So I'm just going to dig that out right here. And so you're going to dig 1 down. You want to build this by the base of the tower, and just like this. So Now I'm going to, right next to this on both sides, I'm going to dig down 2. So 1, 2, right there. And then I'll right across from it diagonally, I'm going to dig that out. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And so yeah, it's basically symmetrical. There's as you can see, there's like 3 diagonal blocks right there, and then 4 these pockets right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your water buckets, you're going to place one in the corner and one in the other corner. Then you're going to take your TNT, you're going to put it in there like that. And then if you've done this right, then this middle section will be free. You're going to take, or empty, you're going to take your pressure plate and you're going to basically just step on it, and then it's going to launch you up into the air. And if you have an ender pearl, this can be pretty cool. But be careful, because ender pearls, they damage you a little bit when you use them, so just be wary of this. I saw someone do this in an MCPVP top 5 video, so I didn't discover how to build this myself, so I just want to give the person credit. So yeah, you make sure to block with your sword like this, and there you go. See, I'm taking no damage at all. I can fire my ender pearl right there, and then there I am right on the tower, and I can beat this guy up. So that's pretty cool. You can see, as you can see, that launched me pretty far up, so you can just have the water bucket right there, and then you know, go ahead and block with your sword, and then you're going to be launched up in the air. Take out your water bucket, MLG Water right there, and then you can just go ahead and take out that tower in style. So you can have a really cool YouTube video to show everyone. So yeah, that's how you make a person launcher. And as you can see, that launched me pretty far up into the air. So that is 61 blocks in the air that this TNT launcher launched me. So that is pretty good. If you've got a tower that's under 61 blocks in the air, you can go ahead and take them down with this useful tactic. And make sure that you use MLG Water though. And yeah, that's how you take out a tower in style. And now it's raining. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. And if you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys around. And as always, stay awkward, my friends. Why isn't it working? I gotta figure it out. They're coming for me. Let me Google it. 2,500,000 results? That's gonna take a while to read.